Hey, everybody, this is David Hood and Grayson Mann with the TigerNet Orange Crush podcast. We welcome everybody going into another installment of this, talking to Clemson's basketball transfers. So happy to be joined by Myles Foster, man. This is a guy that I think I am really looking forward to seeing out on the court because, Myles, I think you can do a little bit of everything. I think your 3-point game may be a little bit underrated by some people. You're going to add some size to this group. What has this process been like for you? Joining this Clemson program, you've been here, a month or so. What's it been like for you so far?
Oh no, it's been great. I mean, the entire staff, players, excuse me, everyone's kind of had a family atmosphere here. I think what I really appreciate, especially with Coach Brunell and the staff, and even the guys in the locker room, we kind of have a blue collar mentality. I think last season was great. I remember kind of watching on my couch, kind of their run throughout March Madness. I feel like kind of the mentality that we've had this summer is that was great, that happened, but if we want to be in that spot again, the work starts all over again. New mindset, new teammates. So I think we all have the right mindset in order to be successful this upcoming season.
We talked to Jaden earlier this morning about what he saw up close in person playing for BC against Clemson. He obviously had a pretty stellar performance against them in the ACC tournament, but what are some of the things that even with the hindsight that you're here now, what were some of the things you picked up on while watching them make a historic run all the way to the Elite Eight? Where there's some traits that stuck out or just the way they sort of played basketball? Like
Yeah.
what stuck out to you?
Definitely just like an emphasis on playing through their forwards. Obviously, PJ Hall had a great career here. Ian Shefflin's another one who's going to do big things this year. And then I think kind of just a system. I'm very big on being a system guy. I think I fit that style of play as far as someone you could plug in alongside either with Ian or Victor and play both spots for the forward and just add versatility at those spots. I think rebounding translates to all levels. I think that's something I take pride in, and just be able to like you guys said, do different things on the floor, score from different spots, and just be that glue guy that these guys need.
I don't know who reached out to you first, maybe Lucas McKay, Coach Bender, Coach Brownell, but what was it like when you had that first contact from Clemson? Did you kind of get a smile and go, okay,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
this could work out?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the portal can sometimes be overwhelming. I think I've heard from uh, different spots from all over the place. So kind of just take it one day at a time. I think that first conversation was good. It was actually Coach Donlin, and then
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm big on we just kind of took it from there day by day, kept talking and talking, and then I hopped on the Zoom with the entire staff and decided to take a visit. Went very well, obviously.
And what was sort of like that visit like? Sort of who was there with you? What was that sales pitch like? Because one of the
Yeah.
things that Clemson's able to sell players now on is say, hey, look what we just did in March. And
Yep.
sort of what was their vision for you in that initial visit on campus?
No, definitely. I think I came kind of late. I think it was early May, I want to say. So most of the student body had been gone already. But I guess as far as sales pitch and kind of what they sold me on was just the ability to continue to improve my game. Saying, obviously I'm big on development and trying to continue to get better. When I first came in as a freshman and started my college career, I wasn't a finished product. And I feel like I put the work in order to be in this position, but yet there's still so much work to be done. So as far as from a skill development point, um, play style, and then obviously a usage rate for at my position. I think Ian, PJ, and a couple of the other forwards last year had a lot of usage rate as far as playing through them on offense, rebounding, being able to switch out on defense and stuff like that. All things that I feel like I've become accustomed to in that different things, different parts of the identity that identify with my game. So
You have kind of taken this gradual, step forward each year. You started out at Monmouth, you transfer up to Illinois State. Now it's the ACC. How is, that experience, especially, I mean, Monmouth plays good basketball. How is that experience going to help you now when you go to battle against Georgia Tech and NC State and Duke, North Carolina every night?
yeah, well, definitely. I think starting from my freshman year, Coach Wright's non-conference schedule was never any cupcakes. I think we probably played about at least 3 or 4 Power Five schools every single year for non-conference just to get ready for our league play, and then also kind of put our some of the players that we felt were good on that national level on that big stage. So I think definitely just the experience of playing college basketball. I remember my junior year playing at the Dome against Jim Boeheim. Definitely a lot of different spots playing at Kansas, Kentucky. all over the place. So I think definitely just my experience of playing in those big type of games and big type of situations, and just be able to kind of be that common factor and be able to help out and make big plays down the stretch.
You talk about all the locations that you've sort of stamped on your memories playing college basketball. Is there a spot this year within Clemson's schedule, or maybe an out of conference game? I know Kentucky, a lot of people are excited about that one coming to Clemson, but is there something on the schedule that really entices you when you get to really sit down and look at it and say, this is a new spot for me to be able to etch another performance there?
I mean, I definitely all the games. I think I try not to put all my eggs in one basket with fall games. I think this being my last year, I think it's even more personal, more special to me at all. I feel like every game is going to be special for me, just to be able to go out there and showcase my skills and be able to get the job done and get the win. But I mean, I guess if I had to choose, probably Duke. Obviously a historic program. That'd be exciting to play in Cameron Indoor. I don't know if they come here, we go there, but yeah, that would definitely be an exciting game.
When you talk about those places that you've gone and the teams that you've played against, was there ever a moment in one of those games, or maybe when a game was over, that you sat back and go, Miles, you can play with these dudes. Like, they're good. But
Yeah.
Miles, you belong here. You can hang on this level.
I would probably say my sophomore year. Funny enough, we played against Cincinnati. We had a really good team my sophomore year at Monmouth. We went like 24-8. Lost to St. Peter's in the conference championship the year they made that Sweet 16 run.
Right.
We played at Cincinnati. We had a big who was at UNC, Walker Miller, who didn't play that much at UNC but transferred down to Monmouth, and his brother Wes Miller was head coach at Cincinnati. So it was like a big story. And I remember I was probably like 6 or 7 man. We had a lot of fifth years that year, but I remember just being in that game and kind of down the stretch, really in crunch time, and we ended up pulling out the win. So I'll say around that time, I was like, I think I could play at this level. Just being that was my first time really in that type of power conference environment, and just be able to show that I could produce and be successful at that level was kind of cool to see.
And we've seen sort of Clemson in the last couple years with a history of taking in a lot of these transfers. Now, they've been more specifically at the guard position. The front court has something that Brownell's tapped into this year. But was that enticing at all, going to say, hey, I just saw Joe Girard break the ACC three-point record, and 1 year at Clemson, you're sort of in that same time frame where this is your last season in
Yeah.
college basketball, and you get to see someone like Girard sort of follow that same path. Does that sort of, when you're making that decision to come to Clemson, does that sort of play a factor at all in being like, hey, there is proof in the pudding for this?
No, definitely. I think it goes both ways. It's obviously, there has to be an opportunity and system and right fit and stuff, like all those things are important. But I think, people don't put enough emphasis on, players make it you make it what it is at the end of the day. I feel like if you're in the gym every day, watching extra film, trying to get in the gym with your teammates and trying to develop and be the best person and player that you possibly can be, then there will be opportunity for you, and you'll be prepared for those moments.
I like to watch people and try to figure people out. And you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I went back and trying to get to know you a little bit better and tried to watch some of your games and your film. And the thing that stood out to me was you seem like you play with so much joy, like the court is your happy place. Is that kind of a correct assessment? You just look like you're having a ball out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're not having fun with it, why do it? I think especially now, just being in college, enjoying these my last year, I think I've played with the most joy ever. I think sometimes players get down on themselves. It's easy to get down on yourself and lose confidence. I've been big on just trying to be positive, uplift teammates, uplift myself. I think I try and be an energy giver. I think that's important because when everyone's smiling and having fun out there, it's easy to make the right plays, easy to go get a double. It's easy, to hit that big three or something like that. So I think that just adds another layer to just being, an all around good basketball player and a good teammate.
That's a great answer. I feel like right there. But Miles, your time on campus has obviously been short. You sort of to assimilate yourself within this community. But how has this Clemson community responded with you joining the fray of this transfer portal? It feels like it's like a package of 4 players, 5 players coming in and really joining a team that's got a lot of excitement and
Yeah.
buzz around it. Sort of, what has it been like to be within this community for the first couple months, couple weeks, and just are there any memorable things that stick out to you as sort
Yeah.
of as you're sort of getting adjusted to this spot?
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, it's a testament to the work the team that last year put in. But I'll go out to eat with some of the guys. People ask for photos and stuff. Just a lot of positivity and sending best wishes our way for this upcoming season. It's been awesome. It's been great. It's a very fruitful and family like environment and atmosphere in Clemson.
And Grayson, if you'll allow me, this might be a two-part question, but
Go for it.
I'm sitting here listening to you and listening to you talk about your joy and why play the game. So the first part of it is, man, there's some very interesting personalities, whether it's Chef or Chase Hunter or Dylan Hunter or Jaden Zachary. Now they're adding you into the mix. Do you feel like this team is already starting to develop some chemistry together that, even though you haven't taken the court, that already this kind of feels like, man, this is a tight-knit family group?
Definitely, absolutely. I think what's interesting. A lot of guys we're kind of on the same time frame as far as eligibility wise. So a lot of us know this is really our last go around. So I think we just take joy in the little things. Those extra lifts, the conditioning. All the stuff that goes into being a successful team. I think another thing that's kind of underrated is a lot of team bonding we kind of do on our own. We hang out, we go out to eat, we'll go to the movies, we'll just chill at the crib, just hang out. We'll be in the locker room after practice or workouts for hours talking about, whatever. So I think all those things matter as far as just building team chemistry, and we just like being around each other, which I think is a good sign.
And the second part of that would be, the goal is not, we hope, we think we can, but the goal is to make the NCAA tournament. What would
Yep.
it mean for you in this final year to hear Clemson's name called on Selection Sunday and then go somewhere and kind of make a run in this thing?
Oh, I mean, it would mean everything. It would be the perfect ending. I think the last 4 years I've come up short. Obviously, being in mid-major conferences is a little bit more difficult. Usually, only one team gets a bid. I know last year in the Valley, Indiana State kind of got snubbed a little bit. I thought they were going to get in, but it would mean everything. I think it'd be a testament to the hard work that I put into my career, and also the hard work that I will put in. Leading up to the season. It would just be exciting. Just something I could tell my friends and family and about in the future when I'm done playing, and it'll definitely be an exciting moment for me.
Miles, you said you took the joy in conditioning. I know Brownell somewhere just sensed like a disturbance, or he was like, "Oh, like that made his heart grow 3 sizes larger." Hearing something like that, but
It might up it if
well,
he watches this.
Miles, sort of the big interesting thing about sales pitch and recruiting is we talked to Jane Zachary, and he said that Chase Hunter was so essential to sort of building and the relationship with him and sort of charting the vision for what they had as sort of a backcourt. In terms of the front court, has there been anybody like maybe it was Ian Shefflin, maybe it ended up being one of the other transfers, Victor, talking about what the vision was for that specific part of the court? Who have you talked? Who were the conversations with early, and sort of what do you envision? How can this front court make an impact for this team?
Yeah. Well, I think definitely first and foremost, my recruiting process was a little bit late. So when I came, most of the guys had already gone home for the summer. Um, but again, just obviously, the basketball world is small, so I was able to connect with Ian through a couple of my former teammates who we actually played AAU with. So just to talk about kind of like how we thought the process was and system wise, and I get like I said earlier, just usage rate and the emphasis on playing through the 4 and 5 spots. I think is something that intrigued me. And in today's game, there's a lot of small ball and a lot of different action and lineups you can go out there with. So I think that was kind of what was very intriguing for me, and just the opportunity, to be successful and again make another run in the tournament.
Awesome, David. We want to
Grayson,
get
you want to?
some rapid fire
Yeah,
question time.
let's
All right.
fire away at him.
Alrighty. So Miles, one thing that as a former Clemson student, now alum, something that I always have to ask people is where for you, since you're sort of new here, where's been a couple spots food wise that you've maybe seen or been thrown at? Like, is there a
Yeah.
favorite that sticks out to you?
I've tried walk-ons, which was pretty good. Where else have I went to? I went to I think it's Charleston's Pub for food. There was another one. I forget what it's. I think it's like a sports bar and grill spot. I'm not sure the name, but it was really really good. Um, I forget. Yeah, I forget the name. I have to get back to you on that. But that would probably be my favorite, even though I
You just
don't
have
know
to
the
come
name.
back on the podcast and tell us. I mean,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah. That would probably be number one right now.
What was it like working Brad's camp last week and having all those young kids running around? I saw them swarming you. What's it like, working that camp with all those youngsters?
Oh, it's great. I mean, these kids, they treat it like it's game 7 of the NBA finals. They're going hard. So kind of just try to dramatize some of the games, make them feel, like they're in the championship, and kind of just coach them up a little bit as much as you can, try and give them little hints and stuff like that just to be better. But it was great. It was awesome just just to give back.
Well, I have to ask, one of those little beggars talk you out of your shoes? Did your shoes walk out the door with somebody?
That unfortunately that they did it. I told them I just got here. I don't have a bunch of stuff yet, but maybe in like April or May they could get back to me. I think I gave some of
Miles,
the game.
Miles, is there a player that you grew up watching and sort of said, I'm going to try to model my game sort of after them? Or is there someone that you
Yeah,
go back to consistently to sort of just see
yeah,
how you can sort of match them?
yeah. I mean, if we going throwbacks, maybe like Paul Millsap, Zach Randolph, maybe more recently, maybe like PJ Washington, Julius Randle, Zion, kind of lefties that I've kind of followed a little bit. I'm trying to think. I'm a big Luka Doncic fan. So I
Who
mean I watch
isn't?
his yeah. But I would say those first few guys I mentioned probably, yeah, that I've watched a lot, yeah.
Might see, do
All
we
right.
see a Zion dunk in your future? Do we see some sort of windmill
I don't
360
know if I'm
Yeah.
as explosive as him, but yeah, definitely will see some dunks, yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Miles, man, we appreciate it. Thanks so much for being a part of this video cast. Hopefully, Clemson fans can get to know you a little bit better. I know
Thank you.
everybody's looking forward to the season. I think
Yep.
I'm already excited. Let's go.
Yep. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.